you're supposed to do. Great job, obviously, +4, running the football. Hey, let's give it up for the young dude. Yeah! That's right. Give it them too. No, seriously, rookies should not rookies no more. Great job. Hey, man, we took a step today. That's what it's all about. Hey, victory Monday tomorrow.
Appreciate y'all boys, man. That's the way to come out here and dominate because we supposed to, man. We got the players better do that every week, man. Let's keep it going. Yes. Cowboys on 3. 1, 2, 3. Cowboys!
Talk about a reason to celebrate. The Dallas Cowboys once again overcoming a slow start to pummel the Indianapolis Colts 54-19 to hand them their 9th win of the season. Hi, everybody, and welcome into Cowboys Flashback. I'm your host, Haley Sutton. Where do we even begin? The term complimentary football has been used all season long in the Dallas Cowboys locker room, but no better display of that than what happened in the second half of Sunday Night Football. 6 different Cowboys found the end zone in the win, and the defense dominated a struggling Colts offense. But the best part, a season-low 3 penalties for the second most penalized team in the league. So here's how head coach Mike McCarthy felt after the game.
How are you, sir?
Feel pretty good. How you doing tonight?
Good, I'm okay. How would you describe that fourth quarter?
Explosive. I mean, I think really, the defense set the tone, obviously with the takeaways in the run game and, the backs. Just, like anything, it starts up front, and I think our perimeter players just continue to make plays, throughout the game. We were able to break it open there in the fourth quarter.
These games are always hard to win, but it was a tight game early on. But how did you see that, especially the second half?
Well, I just think like anything, you just trust your preparation, not to get into what do you call it, coach speak. But every week, it's nice to be in these 7-day runs because I feel like it just gives you the optimal opportunity just to come out here and get going and make the adjustments that you have to make each week. But I felt like we were ready to play. I thought they made a few plays early, which credit to the Colts, but it was we called it a Cowboys 6 game. We knew this was going to come down to the fundamentals of ball security, tackling, getting off blocks, big play opportunities. So, and I thought our players just did a good job consistently staying after it for 4 quarters.
Lamb and Gallup looked like they had another strong game.
Yeah, definitely. Just yards after the catch. It's just they're a visiting defense, very systematic, very disciplined. They tackle very well. So we knew we talked all week about breaking arm tackles and getting the ball to a second level, and like I said, I was impressed with the roster, and obviously just from an offensive perspective, competing against Gus Bradley in the past. I think he does an excellent job. So, but I thought our players delivered and just stayed consistent throughout the whole game.
Your running game. I don't know if you had a game where you had 3 different running backs get a touchdown, but how dominant was the run game today?
Yeah, and it was tough. They were doing on the combination blocks. They were do a good job getting their linebackers loose. And that was a challenge. I thought our pattern schemes really benefit us, particularly the toss crack package that did a couple of variations we did there. So we're doing a good job staying balanced, and I think it serves us well.
It was all smiles in the locker room after this one. We're going to take our first break here on Cowboys Flashback, but when we return, a former Colt turned Cowboy turned heads in his first game against his former team.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, is brought to you by AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys, and by Reliant, an NRG company. This segment is brought to you by AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Prior to the game, Cowboys safety Malik Hooker had yet to play a snap against his former team. The former first-round draft pick talked last week about staying focused on the task at hand and not letting Sunday's game be too big. Well, I tell you what, whatever he did before this one was working. The player of the game joined me after the game to talk about his performance. I'm here with safety Malik Hooker. Malik, before the game, you talked about just staying focused, playing your ball, not worrying about playing your former team. You get out there and you have one of the best games of your career. I mean, what was working? What was your preparation before this one?
Man, I was just sticking to my routine and trusting my process. I mean, I know a lot of people get their feelings when, they're playing against their old team or, coaching against the old team. But for me, it's about, just staying where my feet are, man. I try to do that as best I can tonight, and it worked out for me.
You're the first Cowboys defender since, I believe, 1980s to have both an interception and a fumble recovery for a touchdown. It's got to be special knowing not only you were able to do that against a former team, but just after everything you've been through to come out and perform.
Oh, man, it's definitely a blessing, man. Like I said, I give thanks to definitely the team because, man, without them, they brought me back to life. I feel like, I tell them that all the time. So I just give all my thanks to the team, and, God, because without my faith being right, a lot of people would have probably, folded or quit or whatever the case may be. So I just thankful that I was able to keep my faith in what I believe in.
Safe to say you're keeping that ball somewhere special.
I'm definitely keeping that ball, keeping the ball in the jersey, man. It was the best game for me, so I got to keep it.
It wasn't just you that performed well, though. The entire secondary, really the defense stepped up, but specifically your group of guys, Deron Bland, all these rookies stepping up. What was working today for you guys?
Man, we just felt like we ain't have enough turnovers for us as far as interceptions on the back end. That was an emphasis for us this weekend. We went out there and we got the mission. We understood it. We went out there, we created some turnovers. And it wasn't only on us, of course. The D-line did their job up there and was getting to the quarterback, and that makes a big difference too. So, hats off to the D-line as well as DB.
A big win for you guys. You now turn your attention to the Texans. How do you use this win as motivation, but also stay grounded as you get into the back half of this season?
Of course, we're going to dive into the game plan and everything and still, keep our head high, keep looking at it as if every week's one, we got to be 1-0. We're not looking past no defender. We're not looking at no records. We're just going to keep playing our style of ball and focusing on us, and everything else take care of itself.
Perfect. Malik Hooker, an incredible game. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Malik Hooker's 38-yard scoop and score is the first defensive touchdown of his career. That, plus his interception, made him the first Cowboy since 1983 to register both in the same game. But he wasn't the only guy in the secondary making big plays. Rookie cornerback Deron Bland has stepped up big this season, but Sunday he truly left his mark. His 2 interceptions helped this one be put to bed, part of a dominating effort from the defense in prime time.
I was always going to be a chip on my shoulder for being a 5th-round pick. I felt like I could have been more, but, it is what it is.
How much pride, like, Jamon made some big plays, too. I mean, rookies like you guys.
Oh, yeah.
How much pride do you have in that?
Oh, that's one of the things we coming in, me and him were talking about. As soon as we came in, it was like, once we get on that field, we're going to make some plays.
What can you say about this 2022 class that, objectively speaking, is easily one of the best, if not the best, Cowboys draft class in a decade?
I mean, each one of us, each one they brought in, each position, they're playing pretty much. So this rookie class has been really special.
Ron, how dangerous is this team? Just the way the defense is playing, the offense, everybody. It's all complementary football. How dangerous can this team be?
I mean, you see in the fourth quarter, any one of us can make a play. So that's how dangerous our defense is. Each one of us, if we do our job, we believe we all could do it. So that's our danger.
You just need to scoop and score now.
Oh yeah.
Find the end zone.
I need a fumble. Well, I need a fumble recovery and a scoop and score. I need one. I need both.
When's the last time you find the end zone?
The last time, shoot, high school probably. my one in college got called back.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Back.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bland is the first Cowboys defender with 2 picks in a single game since Trayvon Diggs did it back against Philly in 2020. He's going to be needed in the coming weeks more than ever, though, with fellow cornerback Anthony Brown likely suffering a season-ending Achilles injury in that game, according to owner and general manager Jerry Jones. Now, I mentioned at the top of the show this was complimentary football. The wide receiver room making a splash in the win, but just how impressed was CD with his first quarter touchdown? That's next on Cowboys Flashback.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. This segment is brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
The defense picked up 3 more sacks to bring their season total to a league-leading 48. But unlike in games past, it wasn't just the defense shining in this one. The offense found their groove behind the wide receiver room. Michael Gallup found the end zone twice for the first time this season and for the first time since December of 2020. 4 catches for 23 yards and 2 scores for NG13. As for CeeDee Lamb, he made up for missing the end zone last week against the Giants with a barrel roll for the ages. But just how impressed was he with his performance last night?
Would I be assuming correctly that you got a game ball today, but what's the significance of that for you?
Player of the game. That's big. That's my first one, so I'm going to keep it.
When they hand that to you, what's that feel like for you?
Very cherishable moment. Just, I don't know, bro. I don't even have no words. It's just crazy. I couldn't believe it, though.
Interesting yet about the touchdown itself and how you managed to stay up. What goes through your mind on that play? When did you realize that you were still on your feet?
It was like all a momentum thing. I was trying to fight for extra yards, and then obviously as I was going down, I felt he was behind me. And then when I was going down, I mean, at that point, it was just all instinct.
I mean, are you impressed by that play?
Yeah, it kind of surprised me a little bit, but I was like, well, I mean, I scored, so now I got to be excited, you know what I'm saying? But obviously that's not the way you would think your first touchdown of the game would come, but hey, I'll take it.
So you talked to us coming into this year about how you were ready to be that wide receiver number 1. You get the game ball tonight. How much is it a sign to you that whether or not Odell comes, you still have that role? He'll be more complimenting and you can still be the guy?
I've been ready for this opportunity. All my life, I've always looked at myself as the guy, whether it's running the ball, catching the ball, doing whatever I have to do, you know, offensively to help our guys, you know, score points. And at the end of the day, that's really all I'm here for. And love the guys that I'm building this bond with. You know, QB1, Dak, Zeke. The list could go on and on, all the O-line. I'm grateful for each and every one of them.
Speaking of the two of them, what do you think of the Zeke in the box?
Come on. That's live. Yeah, they was playing. I mean, we were planning on it, obviously, but just for him, I didn't know he was going to come out with the feed. That was tough. That was tough.
When are we going to see you in the kettle?
Man, I don't know if I'm going to take that from
You talked last week about not being impressed with your one-handed catches, so does the barrel roll touchdown make up for the one-handed
yeah, but now I got to make up for the barrel roll.
So now we got to get a one-handed
You know what I'm saying?
with the barrel roll.
Exactly. Some crazy. Nah, I'm joking. But like I said, grateful for the opportunity. It's crazy that it happened that way, but, you know, God just keep blessing, and I'm going to keep accepting.
Wonder if he tucked that game ball into bed with him last night. A cool 71 receiving yards and 23 rushing yards in the win. Meanwhile, quarterback Dak Prescott admitted after the game he didn't have his best performance, but he did manage to once again rewrite the record book, passing Roger Staubach and Danny White for most passing touchdowns in franchise history. But when asked about the accomplishment, Prescott was more focused on the team effort rather than his individual performance.
As I said earlier in the week, records are meant to be broken. You talk about Roger and Danny. The way the game's played today is completely different than the way those guys played it. So obviously it's humbling. It's humbling to be third on such a historical list. But I'm just worried about wins. Let me know when I've passed those guys in wins or I've got championships or for. Yeah, and so for me, that's all that really matters. These are all stats, and they're cool and all, but yeah, this is a team thing for me.
390 total yards of offense last night, with the bulk of that coming from the ground game. How Ezekiel Elliott left his mark with a familiar celebration. That's next on Cowboys Flashback.
This segment was brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Second down, snap to Prescott. Read option, handoff Elliott, pushing, goal line, touchdown Elliott!
All right, here he goes into the kettle.
Hops right into the kettle. Prescott's now going to get down and crank the kettle, imaginary handle like a jack-in-the-box. Zeke pops out of it, hand rotating, feed me.
Well, he wasn't going to be outdone by the rookies, was he? The king of the kettle celebrations found his way back into the end zone. His first ever touchdown against the Indianapolis Colts moved him to third all-time in career touchdowns. He's now tied with Bob Hayes with 76.
But then you guys kicked it into gear. Is this the best run you guys have been on since maybe you were a rookie when you guys won 11 straight?
I think you could put it up there. This team's really clicking right now on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. Run game's looking really good. Receivers playing lights out. On defense, everyone knows what they've been doing all year. I don't know how many takeaways was it this year? What, 4, 3? Mm-hmm. Almost 2 touchdowns. Really happy for Hook, getting to play against the team that drafted him, and for him to have the day that he had, I know it means a lot to him.
Complementary football continues to work, not only the passing game, but the running game with you and your little brother, Tony Pollard. Can you talk about his game as well as yours?
Man, TP, man, he's so fast. He's just running by guys. A couple of them plays, he's outrunning the blockers. So you give him a little slither of daylight, he's gonna take it to the crib and make it pay.
On your touchdown, the crowd was chanting your name. Could you hear all of that?
Yeah. I love that. I love when we get on the goal line and the crowd, they calling for Zeke. Really appreciate that. We had a good crowd today.
Let's talk about the kettle celebration. You and Dak put something together?
Yeah. I just had to come up with something to try to top the guys from last week. I don't know if we did. I don't think it's kind of hard to beat the whack-a-mole, but we queued up the Jack in the Box today.
The best part about that run game, the 1-2 punch. At one point, Tony Pollard was clocked at 19.51 miles per hour on a carry. He finished his night with 2 touchdowns, racking up 91 yards on 12 carries. And even more impressive, he's averaged nearly 8 yards per carry.
I feel like we came out second half, got it turned around, got things going in the right direction, and we did a good job finishing this week.
Talk about the explosion there in the fourth quarter. 33 points, a Cowboy record. Display 33 points in one quarter.
Just like I said earlier, we just, did a good job finishing. Had a couple games early in the year we didn't do such a good job on the finishing that we let get away from us. So, we're just trying to maximize, and take advantage of all the opportunities that we have.
What about just how effective the running game was today? They have almost 200 yards rushing.
That was big for us. O-line, they did a great job out there today, blowing guys off the ball, making it easy for us to find the lanes, pick holes. And, we just stuck with it all game, and, it paid out.
And we can't celebrate this victory without giving credit where it's due. The true stars of the show after our final timeout here on Cowboys Flashback.
Dallas Cowboys Flashback, presented by Reliant, was brought to you by AT&T, the official 5G innovation partner of the Dallas Cowboys. Reliant, an NRG company. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl.
Every Friday and Saturday night through December 17th, Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza ignites the star in Frisco with an unforgettable holiday performance showcasing the world-renowned Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, your favorite Dallas Cowboys football heroes, and Santa Claus, too. Visit thestardistrict.com/Christmas for more information. Well, this Cowboys team is littered with talent, but one group in particular stands out among the rest. This rookie class. Deron Bland, Damone Clark, Jake Ferguson, Tyler Smith, Sam Williams. The list is endless, and it's safe to say the future is looking bright in this locker room.
Dak, you talked earlier in the season about this rookie class being the best you've seen so far. How much evidence was that tonight, just all of the guys stepping up today?
Yeah, it was huge. As I've talked about it earlier in the year, what's crazy is I actually said that again this week. One of the rookie practice squad guys had made a funny comment to me, and I'm just like, man, this class is, from personalities, the way that their approach is, the way that they play the game, it's impressive. A bunch of guys that have a lot of confidence in themselves. You can tell that they have a great bond within themselves, and they're creating a great bond with the older guys. And as Coach said tonight in the breakdown, they're not rookies anymore. Just credit to those guys. And winning teams need that. So we're going to continue to need that from them. It's important for us to continue to keep pushing them and keep challenging them. But the guys that we have will definitely answer. It's a special class.
Did you take a page out of their book in that celebration as well with you and Zeke and the Salvation Army?
Yeah, that was all Zeke's. That was all Zeke's credit right there. I mean, I wasn't even paying attention, and Zeke's waving me down. I think I had to run from like the 20 or so, and yeah, we had a couple of celebrations planned, but we were able to get that one in.
Truly a special group, and you can show them how special they are by voting them into the Pro Bowl. Head to our website, DallasCowboys.com, to vote for your favorite guys to send them to Vegas. So it's a 54-19 win for the Dallas Cowboys. That'll do it for us here on Cowboys Flashback. I'm Haley Sutton. Be sure to stick with us on DallasCowboys.com as we get you ready for the Houston Texans on Sunday. We'll see you next week.